Yeah, she spoke to me this morning after a visit to Christmas Island to the Biloela Sri Lankan family who've now spent 3 years in detention, Priya and Nadis Murugappan, and their 2 little children. Keneally is seeking to lobby for the family's release, arguing new Home Affairs Minister Karen Andrews has the ministerial discretion power to quietly release them back to their community of Biloela in rural Queensland. She speaks of the mental state of the family, their conditions, how they believe the father will be killed if they return to Sri Lanka, and of community support for their release. Keneally here, I had to speak to her by phone, there wasn't video access, also countenances the fact that there are thousands of others who came by boat before 2013 in Australia on bridging visas who are in no man's land. She argues they could be quietly dealt with.
The youngest child is only 3 years old. She was taken into immigration detention by the government at 8 months. She has known nothing else in her life except living behind bars and under guard. They live in 2 rooms. They have basically a box with 2 rooms. They're both bedrooms, but one bedroom really for them functions as where they keep all their clothes and their belongings. You know, the fact of the matter is they're living effectively in isolation. Clearly, Priya, the mother, is lonely and depressed.
All right, what about this government argument? Karen Andrews mounted it again, that if you grant visas to these sorts of people, the people smugglers grab hold of that, they use that, they advertise, others are encouraged to mount media campaigns and all the rest to get around the orderly nature of the immigration system. What do you make of all that?
Nobody wants to see the people smugglers restart their evil trade. The challenge we have is that there are tens of thousands of people who have been in Australia now for more than a decade, who are settled, who are building businesses, raising families, and they can't go back due to wars or closed borders. And we do need a way to resolve those issues. And in many of those cases, it may be that ministerial discretion is the right way to go. It's discreet. It doesn't send a broadcast message to people smugglers.
What do you think the future holds for this family? Do you think the government will move to deport them? Do you think they could be in detention indefinitely? Where do you think they end up?
Well, this is turning into a very intractable situation. But what the future might hold really sits on Minister Karen Andrews' desk now. The most difficult aspect of my visit was saying goodbye to particularly those 2 little girls. They give great hugs, those little girls. And as I hugged them, I thought, I don't know what their lives will be like.
Well, the government's view on this remains consistent. The Home Affairs Minister, Karen Andrews, repeating on Sunday Agenda that she does not want to encourage the people smugglers.
What I'm very determined to do is to make sure that the people smugglers do not think for a second that there is a change to our policy, and I am not going to open that door even a sliver. We have been very clear for a number of years on what our border policies are,